Thanks. It's lunchtime. We're heading out to lunch, and it's a quiet day in the office because it's actually a work from home day, but Tetris and I have decided to come in and get our work done. And I don't know if it's a good idea to be talking into the camera now because the wind is blowing here, so I think I'll ask Tetris some questions in a short while.
Hi.
Yeah, that's Tetris. And it's because of him that I got myself a Spinetic-X, and he got himself a Spinetic-Y, both in brass. So here's a little tip. Some of you actually like the warping effect or the morph effect, and you actually get it when you're out in the sun when it's super bright. So for example, you guys saw me spinning it just now when I was walking out of the office, and it's all like indoor, but here in the sun, you look at the warp when you're spinning it. It's really strange. This morph thing is really cool. The faster you spin it, or the faster the spinner spins, the nicer the morph effect. See? It's really strange. I'll do it again, look. And by the way, my camera has a wide angle lens, so it might add or it might subtract from the effect. I'm not so sure. But it just looks so mesmerizing. It's so strange the way it does. Alright, we're almost at Subway. So we want to have lunch today. So let's just ask Tetris about spinners, I guess, or what he thinks about spinners. This is his first spinner. So bro, why did you get into spinners?
I actually got into spinners because of you. When I first came and saw you spinning that little thing, I was wondering what the hell is that. And I find it really fascinating that, you know, it's something so small and simple can be so entertaining and relaxing toward the mind. You know, like when you're stressed at work and then you just sit there and you just start spinning, things just comes to you naturally. I have no idea how to explain it, but that's just how it works for me.
You chose a Spinetic-Y. Is there any reason why you chose the Y design?
Actually, not much reason to it, but I guess because I find that the X has more edges, and then I just want something simpler, very much simpler. Like the Y, it feels lighter. Maybe it's just me, but it's easier on the hand to spin, you know, and it just feels better that way.
We did get it a bit cheaper because we shared shipping.
Yeah, we did.
So do you think it's worth the price point? It converted to about like what, 60 Sing exactly, right?
Yeah, correct, about 60 Sing. It's pretty worth it. I mean, I've seen some in Etsy and then they are going up for about 80 to 100 plus, and then I feel the pinch when I drop about that much money on something that I'm not well informed about. So I mean, having a cheap one right now, and it's all brass, it's metal, so I think it's quite worth the price point for $60 Sing. So just went for it.
You having fun with the spinner so far?
Yeah, I bring it everywhere I go. It's like my everyday carry right now.
Everyday carry?
Yeah.
Would you consider buying another spinner in future? Or would you just stick to this one until it goes?
I would probably get one in the near future, but probably go for a stainless steel one where maybe a stubby or something.
You said stubby, so do you find yourself researching more about spinners now that you actually own a spinner?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I'm looking around for new buttons and all the other stuff, like what actually do fit on mine and what are the better buttons around. So yeah, I've been looking around quite a fair bit.
That's damn cool.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks, bro.
Yeah, thanks.
So now you all know, not just my opinion, because if you're always going to watch my videos, you always hear my opinion. But now you have my colleague's opinion. It was because of him that I decided to purchase a Spinetic-X. And I chose the X because I already have a tri-spinner. I never had a one with 4 wings or 4 arms. Okay, so anyway, we're here at Subway and it's time to get lunch, so catch you later. Hey everyone, welcome to A Slice of My Life. Earlier on, you saw that I went out for lunch with Tetris and we were playing with our Spinetic-Spinners. So this is my review of the Spinetic-X. And I will probably be able to give you a quick look at the Y because Tetris is still there. What's happening right now is that it's almost time to go home. We're actually done with work for the day. It's about 7 p.m. Just about 7 p.m. And we decided to, just take a break and unwind a little bit before we make our way out of the office and back home. So I've had the X for about 2 weeks, I think. Was it 2 weeks, bro? about 2 weeks, and I have to admit to you guys that it was not on my EDC. That's because I actually played with it for a couple of days at first, and it's not really particularly my favorite spinner. In terms of price wise, it is really a good value spinner. It's super value for money, but you know, after being spoiled with a whole bunch of different spinners that I've tried so far, the Spinetic is cool, but it's a bit uncomfortable, and I'll get to that in a short while. Let me just tell you guys a little bit more about the presentation. It comes in this tin can over here, or tin box as you could say, and it's very, very well presented. It's got nice hard foam inserts as well, and these foam inserts are actually cut out to fit your spinner perfectly, and I believe that the Y also comes in its own box packaging. Yeah, so this is really impressive, I have to say, so good job. And oh yeah, I just wanted to mention to you guys that the maker or the creator of the Spinetic X and Y is Joshua Young, so big shout out to Joshua Young for being able to provide a wonderful spinner at a wonderful price. These guys are super cheap, and it caused a huge stir in the spinner market, you know, in the spinner community as well, by offering performance precision spinners at super affordable prices, and I'm talking about like 35 US excluding shipping. And it comes in 3 different metals for you to choose from: copper, brass, stainless steel. And at the point of time when Tetris got poisoned by me and decided that he wanted to buy a spinner, what was available left was brass. So we went ahead and we ordered brass spinners for ourselves. So we realized that shipping cost was actually the same if we bought 2 pieces, not 3. Shipping was literally split by half, and it arrived within 2 weeks, as opposed to having to wait for back orders if we were to order like stainless steel, which I personally prefer. Stainless steel is slightly lighter than brass, but it doesn't patina, and this particular spinner has a very metallic smell, and I guess that's one point that Tetris also doesn't really like about the Spinetic Y, right bro? Sorry, dry throat for a minute, but yeah, that's the one thing that he wishes he could change, and so because of that he's looking at alternative buttons, and I don't know if they're available in the market right now. But let's talk about this guy. Super smooth. What can I say? This guy has been reported, this spinner I should say, has been reported to get about 8-9-minute spins. I don't even know how people actually do it, but Tetris and I myself have been easily able to get about 3-4-minute spins. Right now he needs to clean his bearings out because he's been having it on his EDC every day for the past 2 weeks, and ever since he's got it, he's not stopped, you know, fiddling with it. So this guy is getting about 3 minutes for me, and you can tell it's pretty quiet. I'll bring it closer to the camera, and you still can't really hear much, so it's not much of a resonance, which is cool. You can actually still feel it spinning in your hand, which is a nice nice feeling. A lot of times people actually want to have that kind of a little shaky or vibration of the resonance of this thing spinning in your hand, and that's actually quite cool. Gonna get into the technicality of this guy for you. So it's a screw style button set, right? Gonna put this down, and I know that you guys probably already know, but this is one of the best ways to actually hold the bearing in place. It's a very, very good bearing retention method. One side is smooth and the other side has these 2 grooves over here. So what you do is get like a coin, or like for example, what I like to do is get a pair of scissors, and we're going to use the blunt edge and just fit it into the groove and just unscrew it. So once you get it out, you can actually undo it, or you can do the rest of it by hand. So I'm just going to remove this top piece over here, which is the threaded piece, and you'll see your R188 bearing sitting in place. So this is an R188 bearing, and it spins very nicely, and these bearings actually came already like that. I didn't clean the bearing out at all. It's already, I guess, pretty dry upon arrival, so it spins quite well. The one thing I want to point out is that this actually has a little funny flash right at the bottom corner. I don't know if you guys can actually see it on the camera, but there's a little bit of flash, and it makes me a little bit worried, like if that were to kind of drop out and go into the bearing someday. I don't really know, but yeah, it's that's the way it is, and this makes it super easy to clean your bearings if you ever want to clean it. Then all you gotta do is just reseat your bearing in place, and then just tighten this retention cap. I'll do it by hand. And if you want it a little bit tighter, just get your object and tighten it. So just gonna make it a tad bit tighter, like so. and then install the buttons back in place, which is a very, very simple thing to do. I'm gonna give SpinSpace a plug because SpinSpace is a really cool Facebook group. You know, if you guys are interested in the latest spinners or updates and stuff, it's a wonderful community where people share a lot about their spinners as well. And in SpinSpace, a lot of people are actually going ahead to do different modifications to their X and Y, especially the brass versions. They're doing things like patinas and doing the shipwreck style. And there's a lady, I'm sorry, I forgot her name, but she's also doing paint jobs on this. I don't know if it's with nail polish, but she's doing some cool glitter stuff with it. Very unique. And I should say that because of the price point, because this is so cheap and so affordable, people dare to experiment with it, do stuff to it without worrying about breaking their wallet or breaking bank. So now you know all the pros about the Spinetic-Spinners so far. Bro, can I borrow your Y for a little while?
Yep.
Thank you. So this is Tetris's Y, and you can see that it's much more patina than mine. It's darker in shade because he's been using it every day. Wow, the smell is really strong on yours. So I'm just gonna give you guys a quick comparison between the two of them. You can see right off the bat that the Y actually looks a little bit chunkier than the X, and I believe that roughly the same amount of material was used to construct the X and the Y. I believe it makes sense that way so that, you know, Joshua is able to keep it at that price point. But the arms itself are bigger, you know, in every way except for width. The width itself is about the same, but you know, it's bigger than the X as well as slightly taller, as you guys can see. I'm putting it side by side, the Y is a bit taller than the X. So yeah, but in terms of fidgetability, both of them are the same roughly. You get a bit more of a gap over here on the Y, but you have less on the X. So like I mentioned, picked the X because I already have a tri-spinner. In fact, I have a few tri-spinners that, you know, wouldn't make sense if I just get another tri. My favorite style is still the bar style spinner, so I just wanted to put that out there. But these are the main differences between the X and the Y. We actually had a little table spin comparison, and the Y in our case actually outperformed the X, probably due to the sheer weight of each arm itself. So for this, super smooth. You know, when you flip it up and down, you don't really feel much of a resistance or the gyro effect. Same goes for the Y because it's 3, but less on the X because there are 4 arms. I'm gonna return this to Tetris right now. Thank you. So down to the cons. Now the main con for me is that this entire thing is filled with nothing but hotspots. I actually get a little bit of a bite when I spin it and I stop it, and it hurts right here. So it's just that it kind of cuts into my skin, and I don't really like that feeling, you know, when you try and stop it, because, you know, when you're fidgeting, you just want to stop it and start it again, stop your spin and start it again, and it hurts after a long, you know, time of playing with it. I mean, holding the buttons feel completely fine. The buttons are awesome, and I have to really give credits for that. Flicking itself is fun, but it's the stopping that actually hurts. It's not a kind of spinner where even flicking it hurts, but, you know, it's something that could be improved upon. And word has it that Joshua's already taken, you know, feedback from a lot of customers, and there will probably, I mean, you can see, what is that? Is that my skin? I hope it's not my skin. I don't think that was my skin, but if it was, it'd be scary. But Joshua has taken in feedback from his customers, and what has it that he's actually creating a V2 of these Spinetic-Spinners, and the V2 will feature rounded corners. That's something to look forward to. So all in all, is this a good spinner? I would say that it's a great and wonderful entry-level spinner. If you guys are new to the spinner movement, then this is something that definitely you should consider getting. It is super cheap for a metal spinner. 188 bearings are wonderful bearings to be used. Comes with a button set as well, and this button is able to give you table spins. I'll just spin it here, and then I will just bring it up to show you guys that yes, you can table spin it. It's very stable, able to spin it and balance it on one finger without any problems. Even if you flip it over and balance it the other way, it's easy, and just super fun. A lot of fidgetability. But at the same time, if you are someone that is looking for something a bit more unique, something a bit more, how should I say, exclusive, then this is not the spinner for you. But if you're just looking for something that you want to put in your pocket every day, fidget about, that doesn't break bank, and you know you have options whether you want stainless steel, brass, copper, then definitely Spinetic X or Y. Then comes the looks. The way it looks might not appeal to everyone. For me, I personally don't really like it because it looks a bit like fingers. To me, it looks like like 4 thumbs or 4 square index fingers like that. So not really the coolest or the nicest in terms of the looks. But when you start to spin it, because of the windows on the side, it looks like it's just like this floating ring, you know, and a button. So that's really cool, and it hurts my fingers. So yeah, really that con itself is to me it's almost like a deal breaker. My favorite is still this guy, because this guy is so well finished and I carry him with me every day. So the Hyperstone is still my favorite. So sorry all the Spinetic fans out there, this is my personal opinion. As always, I'll put links in the video description. I don't know if they are still in stock, but I do know that they will always do their best to put out stock, or at least put your name down on back order, and these things are being produced faster than most other spinner manufacturers that I actually know or I actually follow. Let me know if there's anything else you want to know about the X and Ys in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next slice of my life. Bye!